Hello, everyone. This is Kim Quady with KimPlaysWithPaper.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Mesa, Arizona. And I love to show you what I've been working on in my craft room every week. Today's, I just found a stamp set that I got as a prize patrol at Onstage that hadn't seen any ink. And this is a brand new stamp set in Stampin' Up's 2025-2026 annual catalog. And at first when I got this stamp set, I'm like, I'm not really sure how I'm going to use that, but I want to use it. So I just kind of let it marinate in my mind, like how, and so I was hopping along on Pinterest and I saw something that inspired me. So I'm going to show you that today. So I thank everybody who will be able to watch live. Hey Fran, hey Colleen, thanks so much for popping on. And if you're watching the replay, let me know. Also let me know if you have any questions at all about this project or any other project. But let's pop down to the workspace and see what's been going on. The stamp set that I'm talking about is called Along These Lines. And I just love the little puppy, the bike, the cake, and there's lots and lots of possibilities, but for some reason I was just not seeing them in my brain. And you can find this on page 95 of this annual catalog. So I hope you've seen this. It's been live since early May, so we've had a lot of time to delve into it. But I get sidetracked with all the stuff that's on my desk, and I'm also pairing it with another stamp set that is in the annual catalog, The Loveliest Tree. I'm using the sentiments from there. Hey, Lori. Hey, Kathy. Thanks for much. Is it going to be one of those days where the words just aren't here? Prescott. Awesome. Thanks for popping in. I heard Kathy say it was warm in Ohio. Actually, here in Arizona, it's only going to be 103. So imagine that. Righty, so there, along these lines, let me show you the first card. I have some other samples. So I made a birthday card. Hey, Glenda from Iowa. Love it. Thanks for popping in. So that's the first card I made with the Country Woods Designer Series paper. That too is still available. It's kind of interesting. If you're looking for a certain Designer Series paper or stamp set, and you can't find it in the catalog, give me a shout. I can help you find that. Hey, Gail, thanks so much for popping in. Gail from Minnesota, so we have those states covered. Or look online. There are a lot of things that aren't in the catalog, but you can find them online, and they're still available from last year. So if there's something you can't find, give me a shout. So that's a fun masculine birthday card, or for anyone who's a dog lover, just love that little puppy. I also love to send pet sympathy cards. So if someone loses their furry family member, I love to send a card. It's always sad. But I thought that dog was just perfect for that. I used the little flower and made a thank you card. This is the strawberry slush. I used the blends here along with Lost Lagoon, and this is the new 6x6 Designer Series paper pack. So what I've done is use the 2 3/8 inch circle punch along with one of the stitched shapes dies. Couldn't get off the flower. Hey, Brenda, thanks for popping in. Couldn't get off the flower theme, and so made one with Daffodil Delight. And this Designer Series paper is still available too. So this sentiment actually comes from the Gallery Beautiful Motifs stamp set. I cheated, moved on. Also, and a birthday card. So here is one using that birthday cake colored with Stampin' Blends of fresh freesia and balmy blue along with that birthday sentiment. And this paper too, it's the beautiful bokeh. It is still available. So I tried to pick some little designer series paper and color the images. So I have some ideas for the rest, so stay tuned. But I thought that we would make this birthday card today. And I guess what I wanted to communicate too is that card making doesn't have to be difficult. I admit I'm a really clean and simple stamper. And I just want to show that you don't need to. I do love my fun folds, and I do love a lot of different elements. But if you're just starting out, and it doesn't have to be complicated, and this is a layout that I use a lot. It helps me get started on my creativity, and it lends itself to a lot of different papers and stamp sets. And don't feel that you have to be over the top. Just use what you love and make what you love and send it out. So I'm starting with a piece of early espresso cardstock that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and I love to come in with my Bowen folder and give it a good burnish so it starts to be a little bit flatter. I have a 2 5 1/4 by 4 pieces of basic white. One will be for the front, one will be for the inside, so you can write your message. And then I do have that Country Woods designer series paper. There is one piece measuring 5 1/4 by 2 1/4, and then another piece that's 5 1/4 by about 3/4 or 1 inch. That will be for the inside. If you lose track of my measurements, check my blog at kimplayswithpaper.com. It will be on there, or give me a shout. And then I do have a piece of early espresso that is 5 1/4 by just under 3/4. And then again, I have an early espresso stitched, or a stylish shape. I don't know if you've seen these. They're available online as well. And they're circles, squares, banners, and they are just really my go-to for die cuts. And then we're going to be using the 2 3/8 inch circle punch as well. I know, Barbara, that stamp set is really fun. Along these lines, I'm just now getting into it, inking it up, and finding some really fun ways to use it. All right, so we first need to do, I want to put my happy birthday sentiment on there before I do much else, so that I have to get it on straight. So I already have that on a block. And I'll just practice up here in the corner. Sometimes I don't get those on the block straight and it turns out crooked, but you know what? It's okay. It's handmade. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's how I've always, the die cuts are the stylish shapes. Let me take those apart. 159, 183. And if you can tell, my circle one, I've just rubbed all of the trim off of that. Okay, I digress, but we have the birthday on. We're good to go. Let's attach the 5 1/4 by 4 piece to, let me back up. 5 1/4 by 2 1/4 is the designer series paper. And I just felt that Country Woods, the dog is, and do our best to get that on straight there. That's always a challenge. And then I'm going to use some glue dots to put that little strip on. The strip is also 5 1/4. And then, of course, we'll add some other elements. All right. We do need to stamp. So let's grab our dog out of there. It's one of the photopolymer, the clear see-through stamps. So I will put that on a D-size block. Hey, Connie, how are things in Wyoming? All right. And when I'm going to be coloring with my blends, which I am, I'm going to be using the Black Memento ink. I just have a scrap here, so I'm going to ink that little puppy. And some of the samples you'll see with these are all fussy cut. And I mean, I like to fussy cut sometimes, but not all the time. So that's how I got around that. He stamped really nicely. And then I'll grab my 2 3/8 inch circle punch and punch him out. And then we'll color him. I brought in my light crumb cake Stampin' Blend. And I'm not really going to blend. I'm just going to color. I like to color as well, and little bits. Don't get me too much. And I didn't color him ahead of time because I thought that he was pretty simple. But you could make your dog any color you wanted. If you wanted to make a birthday card for someone who has a dog, you could use your supplies to make the dog any color you want. He could be red, he could be black, he could be spotted. So we have a little lab here or something. All right, I had a Basset Hound. Hey, Joy, thanks for popping in. Hey, Linda. All right, he needs a little black nose, so let's just put a little black nose on him. I thought about a pink nose too, but you can do anything you want. It's your card, and you think about that. So, again, the 2 3/8 inch circle punch fits nicely on that circle. Hey, Julie, thanks for popping in. So what I wanted to do was just add a little bit of linen thread around here. If you remember the card, I have added some of that. Linen thread's a little bit more country and, well, how would you say? Neutral. It's not frilly, and I honestly don't. Oops, look, my mat's upside down. Okay. It still works upside down. I don't know, that's probably about 20 inches, and I usually get way more than I need because I need, but linen thread is to me, it's a good value. There's a lot of it, and it works for so many things. Then I'll just tie a bow here, and that will do that before we put it on the card front. Sometimes I forget to put the linen thread on, and then you have to make stuff up. But sorry about that. It didn't get quite tight. I know that sometimes it's a challenge, so I'm trying to hold on to it really tight. And there we go. And then I can just move my little wherever I want. Okay, trim it quick. So this layout, I use it a lot. And you can also turn it around and use it, say, that way. Like if you're finding yourself struggling with, like, what am I going to make? How am I going to need a birthday card? I don't have any mojo. I don't have any ideas. You can always go back to your favorite sketch or your favorite card layout and start working from that. And then I think that really does inspire you for later. I did use dimensionals to pop up that circle, but it's my go-to layout. And again, like I said, I love clean and simple. I don't always feel the need to have to spend hours and hours on a card. I just think these in today that people are just loving getting any kind of mail. I do have this little piece here, 5 1/4 by about 1 inch or 3/4. You always have those little scraps left. And if you want to decorate your inside of the card a little bit, you could also stamp the dog again. That fits right nicely along here. And with my Stampin' Seal Plus. I did send this one of these birthday cards out to my cousin who is celebrating a birthday on July 1st, and I know he's a dog lover, so I sent that out. And I do have gems. They're the adhesive-backed metallic gems, and I put them away. So, I was cleaning my craft room, but I will add those a little bit later. But they are the adhesive-backed metallic gems. Those are still available as well. So be sure to look for those. Like I said, if you can't find something that you're looking for, give me a shout or look online, because sometimes that's where they are. Yes, Jill, thanks for watching. It is a great masculine card in this designer series paper. The other designer series paper would be the woven textures is also really good for that as well. Let me quick show you, in case you popped in a little later. That was a sympathy card using that same puppy. A thank you using the flower. Another thank you, just different designer series paper. Yeah, I keep any stamp set that has a dog in it. So I currently don't have a dog, but I love them. So, and then there's one using the birthday cake. In the next, this week, I will have another one. I've got an idea for the bike, and I'm waiting for a different, stamp set. I have an idea for that tiger as well. So thanks so much, everyone, for popping in today. If you need the directions for this very simple layout that can be replicated really easily, look on my blog at kimplayswithpaper.com or give me a shout. I am happy to help. I appreciate you watching live or watching the replay. I hope you have a great rest of your day, week, and weekend, and we'll see you next time, everyone. Thanks so much, and happy stamping. Bye-bye.